Leo, this is going to be your monthly for July. So I know you guys are coming in there at the end of what's generally considered Cancer Month, but sorry, I am still getting everything set up here. So anyway, Leo, for July, your birthday is coming up, or your birthday season starts at the end of July, and it is almost as though I get the feeling from July as though it's the month where everyone starts to get up in arms. They start to go stir crazy, and it's like they realize that they're free from either work or school, vacation season, and it's like it's here. And I think that you may be feeling this energy of it's here, even if you don't know what it is. And it could be a turning point, it could be some other kind of change that it doesn't really feel like it's a change for you. It's something that's impending. I hate to say it like that, like it's impending do, but it does almost feel like it's something that's impending. And anyway, it feels like it's going to hit before your birthday, though, before Leo season starts there at the end of July. And almost like you're going to be sitting there with it in a box, just kind of like running your hands over the edges of the box like it's here. It's arrived. And let me know what the hell that is. But somehow it's even something that you don't even want to look at too much, because it's like, no, I gotta let it be in its area. I gotta let it be in its space. Okay, here we go. I am just doing these random card pulls, random everything about it. There's no spread or anything. It's just pure intuition and chaos. So with the Six of Cups, if you've been here for a minute, it's not my favorite card. It's possibly living in the past, like not even having the connection to the people that you're relating to, or not updating your version of them. That's what I see a lot, is that people often enough will hold on to the version of a person from a specific time whenever they feel like they benefited them or they could handle them. And it's likely that you're constantly referencing how somebody used to be. And a good example of this could be something like, and I'm not saying that this is true of a person that you're dealing with or a person that you're talking to or anything like that, but it's just an example that's coming to mind. It's almost as though this person was an addict at some point, and I hate this phrasing, so but it's one that I hear a lot. So, but you were so strong to get through that, and you pulled through, and it's been like 20 years since they had this issue, but you keep referencing it, and it's almost as though it's something that it's like the only thing that you can hold on to about that person. And vice versa, this could be how somebody treats you, or how somebody talks about you. It's like, yeah, I've had 6 kids and 3 wives, and become a doctor and a lawyer and everything else like that. Just other milestones in their life. But it's like they keep clinging to that one, that addict thing, and it could have been something ridiculous, like they were caught with pot once whenever they were 16, and like maybe they really didn't inhale, maybe they were just caught with it, they literally were just holding it for a friend. Something that everyone overreacted to and put them into rehab, and it's like, instead of looking at the actual problem, instead of looking at some kind of overreaction, over understanding. That's what I just heard. So you may have actually heard somebody say it like that, but it's like they're going out of their way to misunderstand something or misinterpret something so that they can get something out of it, or you could get something out of it. That's the main vibe that I'm getting off of this Six of Cups coming in. This is not a card that I like, upright or in reverse, and it showed up in reverse. It's just kind of reiterating the fact that this could be an interaction that's based totally off of the past, outdated information. And whenever you're dealing with people this month, Leo, I think that's something that you're going to run into. Realizing that you haven't gotten over who someone used to be, or someone not getting over who you used to be. And we've got the Magician too. The Magician in the upright is, with the way that I read these, it really could go either way whenever a card is upside, right side up, or reversed. Because at this point, it looks as though you have the tools available to you, Leo. However, the issue is you don't have the resources. Maybe you don't know what resources you need. It's almost as though you have the tools and you have the skill, like you have the instructions on what to do, but because you're lacking the resources, the usable resources, you can't complete something. You can't move on something. And if you're relying or waiting on people, you're not going to get it. So find alternatives. You may not need who you think you need, or you may not need them for what you think you do. Yeah, and Page of Swords is reiterating that old information. You're trying to utilize old information in a new way, from a new perspective. However, it's not working out. It's still the same information. It really is kind of like and again, this is just the image that I'm getting, but it's like a pea is still a pea. Like that little pea that's under the mattress, that dried pea that was driving the princess crazy, that no one could explain it's why she was so sensitive that she could pick that out, that it was still there. It could also be with that somebody thinks that you're overreacting to something that you should get over, but they're making a point to put that splinter in there. They're making a point to put the stone in your shoe and expecting you to be happy that it's there for some reason. Seven of Pentacles. You're wondering if you put your time and energy into the right thing, and even though this is about physical property, it almost seems like it may be something about buying old beaters, like old cars that you have to keep fixing them, but you're able to keep fixing them. However, I think that you may start running into the problem of they're not collector's items. They're not long-term investments. They're momentary investments that work the way that they're supposed to work for a while, and you can keep them going. But the issue really is that you're about to not be able to buy those parts anymore. You're about to have them, or about to need to have them specially recreated just for you, and that's not going to be affordable anymore. And you may be looking at a few things in your life, trying to see if they're sustainable or not. Like, yes, this brings you joy, but do you care that it brings you joy? Now, with that coming out, I really want to say that this lack of resources with the magician is protecting you somehow. It's the universe's way of trying to get you to let go of something, get over something, or maybe trying not to put you through something again. Because that Six of Cups is there, it's really going to color pretty much everything in this reading because it's for the month, and it's almost as though the universe is ensuring that you don't have the resources to go to them, and they don't have the resources to go to you. And that's allowing you to avoid conflict. Like, distance is going to be your friend at this point. And that may also be the only way they will agree to disagree. I really want to find out later on. You may find out that there is some other ulterior motive that they have behind this. Like, they may have wanted to bring you to their church to make an example of you, of how one can turn their life around, and it seems like it's over a tiny infraction, a minor event that shouldn't have even been an event. Like, they're painting a picture of what you may be, and somehow they're thinking that they would get something out of this. Now, it doesn't have to be that exact kind of situation, but that's just the overall feeling that I was getting from that. And with the Devil in reverse, I always like the Devil card. I'm sorry, it's probably wrong, but I always like the Devil card whenever it comes up, but I also read intuitively, so it really does feel like the universe kind of stepped in and ensured that you didn't have something, so you couldn't be party to somebody else's tomfoolery where they wanted to get you involved in something or make you look a certain way. And otherwise, you could have felt an obligation to this person to kind of play into whatever it is that they had going on or that they were trying to. And what's bad about that is I think they have a group of people that are really hanging on to every word it is that they have to say. Like, I'm sorry, because they're like 93 years old, they have all this world experience, and you know what? They may have never left their hometown. They may have lived a total of 3 places in their life, and they all were pretty much the same. And they were always surrounded by the same people that they've always known. So that's not really what we would generally call worldly experience. Life experience, yes, because age and time and everything. But I think in the same vein of them trying to give this certain image of you, they've painted this picture of themselves, and these other people are so eager to believe this because it seems like they're disconnected. It seems like they're very disconnected from reality somehow. Who knows? Maybe it's someone that's in a psych ward or a nursing home, or same thing, and like the only thing that they have to do is gossip because they don't have the wonder of technology, or they don't know how to use it, or something to where gossiping is their entertainment. And that Five of Cups is just putting back in that idea that you should have this connection to someone, but you don't. And I don't think that's really anything for you to regret. cooperate. Because I want to get all of these in. You know what, we're just going to have to do that for right now. So we've got we have avoiding conflict earlier, and then we have conflict later on. Maybe because they decide that they're going to try to demand that you show up for them somehow, and I think that there's going to be a period where you want to put the extra work in to be able to have the money to go see this person or be involved with them. However, I think you're going to start on that journey, and people are going to ask you, well, why are you doing this? You know, we haven't really seen you apply yourself like this in a while. Is something going on? And you'll let them know why. And let them know why you need the time off. Let them know why you this, that, and the other, you know, whatever. And they're like, well, we thought you were estranged from that parent because of whatever. And you're like, yeah, you know what? That's right. And you come to a realization that you're not someone that needs that approval. Because needing that approval with the Knight of Wands is going to end up taking your energy and putting it someplace where you never wanted it to be again. And it would almost have you turning your back on your future plans or disconnecting you from what it is that you want and where it is that you are going. All the focus on this person who likely walked away a long time ago, likely they had a certain precedent that they had a certain goal that they were going after, and they were not going to be swayed from. They were not going to be swayed from that goal. Like, you were going to have this purpose in their life, and that was it. And how bad is it that I almost want to say that might have been a parent that... Okay, I'm going to disassociate from that for a minute. It may have even been something or someone who instigated an addiction, or planted the drugs, or planted the alcohol, or, you know, literally was the one to get someone in trouble, and now they want to use that difficulty that they put you through as leverage to get back in your life somehow. And there is this idea that, well, if I just try one more time, if I just try, get my point across and tell them how I feel and reconnect with them and really be honest and open and direct about everything it is that I'm feeling, then they may be able to finally understand, and they're not going to. They're not going to, because they have they have this perfect picture of their circus and their monkeys, and they have a nice little monkey suit picked out for you that they want you to step into this role. And I think that may be a feeling that's hard for you to shake. Like, this is something intentional that they're doing. But and I think this is coming up for the monthly reading because this is going to be something that's really fits and starts throughout the month. Like, they try and connect with you, you try and get back to them. There's like a misconnections kind of thing going on. And then there's a lot of other stuff going on that the full ramifications of what reconnecting is going to cause is missing you somehow. Because you don't have a chance to sit there and get the full effect of how this is really changing you or making you feel. So make sure you understand how you feel about something before you allow yourself to get pulled back into this calamity of a person, because it really does feel like this is kind of ridiculous. But Leo, thank you for tuning in. I am still doing the dailies, and I'm trying to get back into doing the weeklies, so please tune in for those. And thank you. Please hit like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.